Good afternoon, everybody. Meteorologist Angel Wilson here with an update to the forecast. It is time for our weekly weather stream that we do every Wednesday at 2:30. That we take some time to give you an update on what we can have here for the end of the week and into the weekend, and then looking even at the next week. You know, we always like to take that extended look as well. So let's start off by taking a look at satellite and radar. We have some cloud cover passing through at the moment, even a little bit of brief shower activity. I actually want to go ahead and freeze the radar here. Take a look just north of Athens. We are dealing with a few showers that are moving down to the south and east. You see it close to Sandy Cross, stretching all the way up towards Gainesville, Murrayville, and then over towards Silver City. There are some spots that are dealing with a little bit more cloud cover than others right now, but only a very isolated spot dealing with some shower activity. Now this rain can be good because it can also help to knock down the pollen count. Right now our pollen count is sitting at 152. Mulberry, oak, hickory, pine, sycamore, all the main contributors. We have a high level of tree pollen, grass, weed, and grass and weed pollen are at a medium level, and then we have extremely high levels of mold pollen. But thankfully, you know, our tree pollen has really gone down over the last couple of weeks thanks to all the rainfall that we've had here more recently that has helped to kind of knock things down out of the air. Now, taking a look out across the city before we really jump into the forecast, let's talk about what we're dealing with right now. Again, some spots are dealing with some showers, some spots are dealing with thicker clouds than others, but right now over Atlanta, you're actually seeing a little bit of blue sky peeking through. Nice to see that there. You look out towards Hartsfield Jackson International Airport. Not a bad view there. They're not dealing with anything in the way of rain out there. Nice and dry on the runways and a lot of sunshine to go around. You see that out towards Atlanta Motor Speedway as well. And then when you look out towards downtown and midtown from our Decatur camera, you see a nice view there, as well as a nice view out towards Truist Park, where the Braves have been doing really good this year. Let's hope that things continue to go that way. But you also see a little bit more cloud cover there up towards Truist Park. Again, looking a little bit further off towards the north, they have a little bit more in the way of clouds. Again, northeast Georgia, they're dealing with a few isolated showers. We talked about that a moment ago. And then you also see that pretty sharp cutoff of cloud cover with a frontal boundary kind of dipping down through the region at the moment. Not any rain in Atlanta as we head throughout Wednesday afternoon, at least for right now. There's a slight chance we could get a brief shower or two, and that's about it. Looking at the 11 Alive app, don't forget to download this. It can be really valuable whenever we have a chance for rain in the forecast, like what we have for today, what we have again on Friday and on Saturday. You can check the hourly forecast and then the daily forecast right there at your fingertips, including, again, live looks at the radar. 73 degrees right now. We have a partly cloudy sky, going to be partly cloudy to mostly cloudy over the next few hours, and then we're going to get a little bit more of a clearing as we head into tonight, with temperatures eventually falling down into the 50s. Now don't forget, you can not only just download the 11 Alive app to your mobile device, you can download the 11 Alive Plus app to Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. This is a way that you can watch extra updates right there at your fingertips at home. A really useful tool. Let's say that you missed the forecast in the morning from meteorologist Chester McNeil and missed the news from Aisha Howard and the Chill Preheim, and as well as the traffic from Crash Clark. Well, you can actually watch the news whenever it is timely for you. Let's say you woke up about an hour after the newscast ended. You could still turn it on and catch it whenever you want. Again, the 11 Alive Plus app can be great, including for getting weather information like the weather update you're watching right now. Forecast track shows for today. Again, we have a little bit of cloud cover out there. Going to have an isolated shower or two possible this afternoon, just a slight chance for rain, nothing too disruptive. We move into tonight. Temperatures will eventually fall to the 50s. We will have a mostly clear to partly cloudy sky when you wake up tomorrow, going to be mostly clear and partly cloudy as we head throughout the day on Thursday, with temperatures eventually rebounding into the 70s. Now moving into Thursday night and Friday morning, we are going to have some shower activity move through. You notice some light to moderate showers, nothing severe with this, but a little bit of rain is going to be possible by 1:30 a.m. Temperatures in the 60s. By the time you wake up on Friday, still a few lingering showers. We have a 30% chance for rain in for right now on Friday. I don't think it's going to be as widespread as what this one model is showing. Just know that those rain chances will be up though. We'll then see the rain chances start to go down as we head into Friday evening by 5 p.m. Temperatures are going to be sitting in the 60s and 70s. And then once we move into Saturday, again, starting off with temperatures fairly cool in the 50s and 60s, but rising into the 70s for the afternoon. So we're not going to get too much rain over this next week. You know, we have a 30% chance that's going to be in for Friday after our 20% chance today. We have a 20% chance again on Saturday. And then once we head into the middle of next week, we're going to have one more 30% chance for rain, and that's it. So over the next 7 days, we're looking at getting less than half of an inch of rain across the region. Really not too significant at all, but of course we're not hurting for rainfall. Let's take a look at the rain that we've had here over this past month. Notice that we had one day there, the second day of the month, there on April 2nd. You see that we got more than 2.5 inches of rain. That really allowed us to kind of move into that very wet zone here for the month, and we've kind of stayed that high. Notice that the normal month-to-date rainfall is just under 3 inches. We are nearly 2 3/4 of an inch ahead of that, sitting at more than 5.5 inches of rain so far for the month of April. We have already gotten a full month of April's rain, and we still have a few days to go. So again, we're not adding too much to it here for the rest of the month, but a little bit more could be added to the rain gauge. We talked about April 2nd, how wet it was. That was the second wettest day of the year so far. We've had 4 days that have brought more than 2 inches of rain within a 24-hour period. So that lets you know we have had some very wet events so far this year, and that is why we are so ahead on rainfall for the year. So you see 16.76, that's where we should be on the normal year today. We're at nearly 24 inches of rain so far for the year. So again, it has been a very wet year so far, and that has helped to get rid of that drought. Remember, we had the drought as we moved into the end of 2023. Nowhere left in the state of Georgia under abnormally dry conditions or any moderate drought at all. So it was very beneficial rainfall, and it's going to be nice to have a week this next week where we don't have as much rain expected. Temperatures, they're also going to really warm up here as we head into the end of the weekend and into early next week, back into the 80s for highs. That's going to continue into the middle of next week. The average high this time of year, 76, so we are going to be above that. Looking at your 7-day forecast, we do have a slight chance for rain again for today. We have the 30% chance for rain on Friday that we were talking about just a moment ago. Again, especially for the morning time frame, I'm thinking on Friday we're going to have some better chances for rain. Slight chance for a few isolated showers still even on Saturday, and then we go drier for Sunday and Monday with a nice warming trend back into the 80s for highs, and even 80s for highs there on Tuesday with a few isolated showers that are going to be possible. Now, I always like to take a look at the 8 to 14 day outlook beyond the next 7 days, giving you an idea on what the weather trends may be like here as we head into the early part of May. So for that first full week of May, it's looking like we could have slightly below average rainfall maybe, which isn't that big of a deal. Again, we are so ahead on rain for the year that we're not hurting for it. But something that may be a little bit more disruptive, something to keep an eye on, is it's going to be possibly above average temperatures. We may be having temperatures up into the mid to upper 80s even at times as we head throughout that first week of May. So be ready for some big heat there. That's the one thing that we got to keep a close eye on. Of course, as we get closer and closer to June 1st, here we are almost to May 1st, we're getting closer towards hurricane season. Now, Colorado State University released their hurricane season forecast for the Atlantic earlier this month. That was on April 4th. They have called for 23 named storms this year. They're forecasting 23 named storms. Hurricanes could have 11 of them, major hurricanes, 5. Now, typically, we have 14 named storms in a season. 7 of them typically become hurricanes, and 3 become major hurricanes. So that lets you know it is going to be, it's forecast rather, to be a very active season. Colorado State, you may be saying, wait, we're looking at Colorado? They actually have some of the best tropical forecasters out there for research, rather. They're at Colorado State University. It's just where some of those best professors, I guess, ended up at when it comes to tropics. When we talk about the tropical cyclone names in the Atlantic this year, the first one on the list would be Alberto, Beryl, Chris, Debbie, Ernesto, Francine, and then you continue your way down the list until you get to Valerie and William. Now, to put things into perspective, the forecast is calling for 23 named storms. That would mean that we make it all the way through this list. And then we would go to a list of supplemental names that the National Weather Service will provide, and then we would go into another list if we did happen, by the way, to complete this list. In the past, we used Greek names, or rather Greek alphabet for naming storms, but this year things are different. They changed that a few years ago, and that's how we do things now. Looking at your Peach State outlook, if you're traveling across the state of Georgia, notice that we're going to have temperatures sitting in the 70s and 80s for much of the region all throughout the next 3 days. Notice Saturday, a little bit more cloud cover, so not the best weather, but it's not going to be too disruptive. That's the good news. It's not going to be a bunch of rain, just an increase of cloud cover there expected for Saturday for much of the state. If you're going to be doing any hiking, the weather should be great for it tomorrow. We'll be drier out there for Thursday, but again on Friday we will have a few isolated showers possible. Looking at your weekend getaways finally, you see that we have temperatures sitting in the 60s there for Friday, 65, isolated showers, drier conditions as we head into Sunday and Monday. So if you're planning a trip maybe anywhere along the southeast here this weekend, Monday is looking dry and it's looking warm. So you may want to go ahead and tack on that extra day off from work there on Monday, especially if you're going to be heading up down towards Savannah, temperatures in the 80s. Maybe you want to head down to Tybee Island, or maybe you want to head down to Destin where it's going to be 76 and mostly sunny. Not too bad there. So I'll bring back up the 7-day forecast. Don't forget that you can get an update on the forecast whenever you're on the go with that 11 Alive app. You can always check 11alive.com, download the 11 Alive Plus app also there to your Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV devices. It can be a great way to get extra weather updates and news information at your fingertips, weather updates like the one you're watching right now. And then also, you can catch us on 11 Alive itself. You can catch Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb. He's on every evening. You can catch meteorologist Melissa Nord starting every day at 4 o'clock right here on 11 Alive. Meteorologist Chester McNeil is on every morning giving updates on what's going on there for the day ahead. And then you can catch myself, meteorologist Andrew Wilson, on every weekend morning, and then meteorologist Nicole Hartford every weekend evening. I hope everybody has a wonderful week ahead of them, and of course we'll always keep you updated on everything right here at 11 Alive.